Mr. Jason, hello, first of all.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
I'm very glad that you are here today with us and would like to thank you that you found in your tight schedule time for us. Thank you so much. Mr. Jason, what was the main purpose of your visit to Azerbaijan?
Well, ADA University and AIR Center jointly organized and convened a conference uh, bringing together academics and independent experts from different parts of the world to discuss post-conflict Southern Caucasus. It's also significant, of course, that we convened this conference, that this conference took place in person, as the virus still is with us, but we start to see the light at the end of the tunnel. It was refreshing, most refreshing, that we could undertake such action in person and not have to do everything via Zoom or some other form of video communication.
Mm-hmm. And is this your first visit and trip to Агдам? What did you see there, for example? And please share your impression about this place.
Well, thank you. Indeed, this was my first visit to Агдам. I frankly knew precious little about the city before the visit, only that it was among the population centers of Karabakh that were invaded and occupied for close to 30 years. The scene was remarkable. I mean, tragically remarkable. It reminded me, if you were walking through portions of Anatolia or perhaps Italy, and you're touring ancient Roman ruins, even though the destruction was, like I said, only close to 30 years old. While there, I was standing next to Ambassador Matthew Bryza, former U.S. envoy in Baku. He was standing next to me, and I heard him mournfully compare what he was seeing, what we were seeing, to the destruction of Warsaw in 1945. And he was right, of course. I would only add, if there's a difference, it's that the total destruction of Агдам didn't appear to result from bombs dropped from the sky or artillery rounds or even machine guns, but from systematic looting and arson. And I don't know how else to describe it other than it being a tragic and outrageous display.
Yeah. And how do you think what Azerbaijan should do to convey the real meaning of Nagorno-Karabakh conflict to the world?
Well, I confess that I had some ideas going into this conference, but I did learn quite a bit listening to President Aliyev and Foreign Minister Bayramov, and of course the day trip to visit the remains, the remains of the liberated city of Агдам. But I suspect that my conclusion is that Azerbaijan should continue documenting everything that happened in Karabakh, the events, also the events surrounding the conflict in Karabakh. Invite more academics, more independent experts, more religious leaders, more diplomats to visit, to see what happened, to take note of the killings, to take note of the devastation, to listen and read the stories of the internally displaced persons. It's also important, however, to showcase the rebuilding process. It's not just what happened, but what's going on now and what is to come. What will the liberated areas look like in a year, 2 years, 10 years? How families and industry will return and build new lives. How, despite all that's transpired, the hope that a future generation of Azerbaijanis and Armenians will live again as neighbors, not enemies. And of course, insist the world do more in the months and years to come to prevent future injustices of this magnitude from transpiring.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much, Mr. Jason. It was very useful, for example, information for us and for our auditory. Thank you so much.
Pleasure to be here.